fellow speakers. It gives me great pleasure to evaluate and speak on the F1, which is the first speech in the book. The speaker gave a time of 7:30 and it ended about 8:45, which for a first speech is very good. But I will prove to you could have gone for 10 minutes and perhaps even longer. You came to the selection with confidence, which is always very important. You are in charge, you've got to be in charge. You want people to listen to you. If you creep up here with your head and your shoulders shaking, then people will not. So you were confident here, which made us want to sit and listen. And you started off with a very good salutation. You introduced the speech very nicely, and we all knew what you were going to talk about, and so we were all listening. You related your experience of life, of what you had done in the past, and when we do that, it always runs a little bit smoother because we're already fluent, we've already got that embraced in our brains, it's there tight, we do not have to think about it. So to use a personal experience is also always very helpful in a speech. You had an argument of for and against, which is fine because we can then decide which side we want to sit. But it's interesting when people do these arguments, and we are there again listening for this argument for and against. You had a couple of gestures when you were doing this, so there was a little bit of gesture to it. We had some statistics which I don't know about anybody else, but I found them very important to enhance the speech, and I also found them extremely amazing, and certainly my ears picked up with some of them. Notes were used throughout, which is fine for a first speech. A very clear voice, plenty of expression, and easy on the language. We did not have to have a word which we thought, I wonder what that word is. And while you're thinking that, you are missing the rest of the speech. No, all the words, the English was very, very good right way through it. Eye contact, looking around the room, very, very important. You want to embrace everybody. Now you need some learning points. Slow down. Please slow down, because you would have got to 10 minutes without any. You're not running a race, you're not doing London Marathon, it is just a steady pace, stop. And to do that, you could do with more pauses. Your pauses need to be in on your statistics. Statistics are very important parts of the speech, but if they're delivered one after the other, we lose it. We all lose it. So one statistic, a pause. Another statistic, a pause, so that these statistics are important for us to get into our head. Surely that didn't happen, we're thinking, or whatever, oh gosh, I didn't know that. Give the audience time to think about them. Notes are marvellous, they are an aid, they're not a crutch. And you knew most of your subject, or actually the speaker knew most of the subject, so clinging to your notes, try not to cling to your notes. And look up. Read them, look up, talk around the room. Very important to include the audience. Your conclusion was very nice, but you told us you're going to conclude. We never need to tell anybody we're going to conclude in a speech. It should naturally come as you're speaking. You should build up, and that conclusion should come quite naturally, as if you're putting the lid on a kettle. It should be there, so please, no telling people. And in conclusion, we know there's a conclusion there. The speech was also peppered with shut your mouth. That's all we have to do. If we're going to do that, just shut your mouth, have a pause. It gets it there. I found the speech fascinating, interesting. I sat there still spellbound with some of the things that were being said. So I enjoyed it. It was a good speech. So please move on to number 2.